This will be the technical presentation of TransPoser panel. To open TransPoser in Flash, go to Window, Other Panels and TransPoser. In Animate, it is Window, Extensions and TransPoser. TransPoser is way too complex to cover in a single video. So in this presentation, I will focus on the main features, main workflows and main areas in the panel. And for detailed workflow suggestions, make sure to visit our website. In the workflow section, read the TransPoser workflow article and watch all the videos in there. The textual part covers every tiny bit of detail and gives you suggestions how you can incorporate transposing into your animation process. Transposing is the process where you can transfer carefully designed preset poses from a container called the reference symbol or the ref into the animation symbol or the anim, the timeline where you actually animate. And this is mediated by the TransPoser panel. So TransPoser panel allows you to set a symbol with presets as a reference symbol, create an animation symbol based on it, or link any symbol. Make it an animation symbol by linking it to a ref symbol, creating thumbnails for preset poses in the ref symbol, and then transposing those into your animation symbol. Now let me do a very brief demonstration by looking into what we have inside this ref symbol. Here we have a full turnaround of this robot's head, and we have set certain keyframes and defined them as poses and created thumbnails for these poses and loaded them in the TransPoser panel. Now let's switch these off and look into the timeline where the actual animation will happen. So this is just a standard graphic symbol set to play once, so it will run as a synced container, and inside we'll do our facial animation. Transposing is as simple as clicking on a thumbnail in the TransPoser panel. This will transfer certain properties of the symbol instances in the reference symbol to the symbol instances in the animation symbol. This is all dynamic, so it doesn't really matter which one we click. The layer structure is preserved and they will all be tweenable because they're dynamic. By doing so, we have created a keyframe in our animation timeline. And then we can decide that this much movement is enough. So cut it here and then retime by adding more frames so that it happens slower. Now if we would like to go the other way, we can transpose the front view and keep going by transposing the 3/4 view and a profile view and tween between all of these. And again, time as we like. So very quickly we created a head turn with an anticipation. Now I need to switch the ears in these frames just so that everything behaves as it should. On top of that, TransPoser works very well with our other tools such as Smart Graphic Control, so we can load mouths and open the mouth, or load the eyes and control the eyes with these panels. But this is not going to be the focus of this video. This is how easy transposing is and the flexibility that it gives you to save carefully designed presets and then transfer them to your animation timeline. Anything that is symbol-based can be transposed. As another example, let's load a few poses of this rabbit and transpose those. There you go. As I said, anything that is symbol-based can be transposed. We can load multiple reference symbols in the TransPoser panel Each ref has a title bar, and we can close them from here. We can collapse them. And below the thumbnails, there is a ref toolbar with buttons specific for the reference symbols. So these buttons here control this ref, and these buttons here control this ref, while this is the main toolbar of the panel. These are kind of more universal buttons. Before continuing, let me show you something. I did this animation while recording the introduction to transposing video in a few minutes. You can see subtle and complex facial animation done very quickly. If you watch that one video in the TransPoser workflow article, you will see me actually animating the head and the body. Another example here, complex, subtle facial animation done using TransPoser. Let me briefly go through the process of setting up the reference symbol and creating an animation symbol based on the ref. Here we have just a normal graphic symbol. Nothing has been done to it yet, except for some presets inside. So we have prepared this symbol to become a ref. I can clear the panel using this drop down, clear the panel. And from this button I can set this symbol with the presets as ref. For now they don't have any metadata or what we call ref info, but when I press this button, all of these will be written with metadata so that they can be connected to the instances in the animation symbol, and the properties can be transferred. So let me just press the button. Okay. It's done. All the instances were tagged with metadata. The symbol's name has been altered with a suffix ref and some number. I'll leave the suffix ref and remove this unique numeric identifier. We can call it anything, but it's good to keep the ref suffix because we know that this is a ref symbol. There are two folders that have been added, Meta and Transpose. The Transpose folder contains that which will be transposed. So I'll take out the controllers and I'll take out the center marker and the background, so that the Transpose folder only contains the bunny head elements. The Meta folder is where you define what frames to have thumbnails. So if I want to have thumbnails for all the frames, I will make a selection like this and create keyframes for all the frames. So each pose will become a thumbnail in the panel when we load the thumbnails. But just to make things more interesting and easier to understand, I will only create 3 thumbnails to start with. And I will actually change the name of the group to call it A, and I will change this name's thumbnail to make it happy. So just giving it a label. Now once we have created our ref symbol or set it as ref, we can load thumbnails. Thumbnails will be generated for the ref symbol, and there you go. We have a group called A with 3 thumbnails in it. Here from the thumbnail toolbar, we can do some customizations of these thumbnails. I can change the thumbnail background, make it darker so that it's more contrasty. Holding down Control and scrolling with the scroll wheel will allow me to change the size of these thumbnails. I can also do that via settings and inputting a numeric value here. So if we go 80, they will go slightly larger. What else? All the changes that we do, like reorganizing the thumbnails, we can create a folder, let's call it B, and we can move one of these thumbnails down by shift dragging it, or we can alter the placing of these by shift dragging them. All these customizations that we do in the panel are somehow temporary. If we reload the thumbnails, the structure will be loaded from the meta layers. So if we would like to add 2 more thumbnails, say one here, I'll just create another keyframe. We can label them or not, it's up to us. And let me create another one here. So 2 more and reload. This will be reloaded and we'll have 5 thumbnails, all of them in one group. If I'd like to have 2 permanent groups, I'll have to create another group here and just give it a different name. Reload again from the refs toolbar. Now 2 of these fell into the second group. We can also add separators between the thumbnails if we would like to create some kind of block structure for easy clicking. This is purely for convenience. And again, we can give them a darker background. Okay, so this is how you create the ref symbol. Now once we have a ref symbol, we can go outside, and by pressing this button we can create an animation symbol, or the anim, based on this ref symbol. So click and an anim will be created in the library. So here it is with an anim suffix and a unique numeric identifier, which I'll delete. Now once we have the anim, I can swap the ref for the anim so that we have the actual real animation symbol here and we can start transposing. This thing is an instance of the ref, just here for convenience, and the structure is somehow similar, but here we don't need the transpose folder, so I can take out the head and get rid of the transpose folder. All that we need are the instances. We can move the layers around, we can rename them, it doesn't really matter. As long as the instances contain the ref info, transposing will work. So now I can just choose a frame and click on a thumbnail and tween between the poses. Click on another one of these and again tween between the poses. And if I like, I can use my controllers to keep working on the poses. Nothing is firmly set, these are just the basis for my animation. So this is how easy it is to set up the ref and the anim and start transposing and animating. If I create a new pose, which I really like, say something like this, and I want to save it back to the ref symbol for future reuse, I can do so by pressing this button, the Add to Ref button. This pose is now part of the ref, so I need to reload, and if I reload, we will see this pose appear here. So let's do that. The structure was restored based on the permanent meta layer structure, but this is our new pose, which we have just added to the ref symbol from the anim symbol. And again, I can choose a darker background. This button here allows you to make any symbol an animation symbol, linking it to the current ref. For details how exactly to do this, please refer to the TransPoser workflow article and the videos there. What else? We can analyze instances and we can remove ref info. Now, why would you want to remove ref info? I don't know, if for some reason it doesn't work for you and you need to start over, maybe. Anyhow, if we select a bunch of instances and press this button, it will give us a report and tell us if the instances contain ref info and if this animation symbol is linked to a ref symbol. This is very handy for troubleshooting, and you will see the details in the TransPoser workflow article. We can flip while transposing. I'll show you with this rabbit here, which we can transpose flipped by using this button. These are just toggle buttons, so press it and then click, and then you get a flipped version. Obviously, you can't just tween between flipped versions of instances, but if you need to progress through a flipped animation, this is very handy. The last thing that I would like to mention is the drop-down menu with the help and clear panel and panel settings. It also provides you with 3 automatically added suffixes for specific exclusions, and in this case I will show you how to use the no sync. So to understand what it does, here we have set a different frame for the eyes, but our preset poses have the eyes almost closed. So if I click on any of these poses, you see how the closed eyes are enforced. I don't want that. I want the eyes to stay as I have set them. To do so, I can go no sync. Suffixes were added to the eye layers, and now if I transpose, you see how the first frame property is not enforced during the operation. The first frame property stays as I have set it. Everything else is transposed. So this is how these filters work, and if you no longer need it, you just select the layers and you go clear suffix, and that's it. The suffix gets cleared and transposing will be full after that. So this was my brief technical introduction of the TransPoser panel, an extremely powerful tool for character animation. Hope that this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.